So again, if you could let me know that you can see the screen, that would be great, just to make sure I'm showing you the right stuff. And I'll get started. Okay, so I want to first start by welcoming you. My name is Julie Smith, in case you don't know who I am. And I'm going to be hosting the webinar tonight. So what I want to do is talk to you about my approach to meditation called Success Through Stillness. And in case you're not familiar with it, I'll give a bit of an overview of what we're doing today. Really, the purpose of this is to give you a taste of meditation. Some of you are new to meditation. I know some of you actually. And, you know, maybe it's just my approach that's new to you. So I'll go through that very, very quickly as well. And it's also about kickstarting a regular meditation practice. Some of you are doing it in isolation. Some of you feel you don't know exactly what you're doing. So this can help you, or you've been practicing for some time. This can help you get started on a regular path. That's the idea. So today, short introduction of me and my approach. And then I'm going to link it to forgiveness, because this is why you're here. You want to do meditation on forgiveness. That's the topic for today. So I'm going to give you a few practical tips that's important about meditation as well. And we're going to go through a live guided meditation on forgiveness. And very importantly, I think, is at the end, I want to give you an overview, or give you a chance to ask questions, and I'll provide you with the answers as best I can. So I'm going to cut a bit short today about me. I will provide you with a bit of a bio instead, because otherwise we're going very much over on time. But for those of you that know a little bit about me, I have a corporate background, and honestly, 15 years ago, I would have thought this stuff is a bit cuckoo bananas, I say, because I was a very logical thinker. And this was a bit woo-woo, I thought. So lo and behold, I started to practice meditation about, what was it, 11 years ago, when I was in Nepal on a long trip. And I had gone through a number of things, a divorce, and things that changed my life and changed my perspective on things. So I tried meditation, and wow, I tell you, it impacted every aspect of my life. I started to be more grounded, and you know, it gave me so much more than that. And that's what I find with most of my students as well. I've taught, well, it's under 2,000 people, I don't know the number, over the past 5 years. And to give you a bit of background on what I practice, I have two main teachers. One is in Mumbai, who has taught me a lot about chakra meditations. And then I have another main teacher. His name is Alan Wallace, and he's a student of the Dalai Lama. And I've just been very blessed to have met him, and he's taken me down a different path as well. So again, high level, that's kind of my background, so that you have an understanding of where I've come from. But really, why you're here today, I'm thinking, is about people are wanting a lasting transformation. And I talk about success through stillness because I think a lot of people, again, think that success and meditation, those are, you know, not words that go together. But actually, it's very natural to desire success in life. So maybe you're looking for a promotion, a better relationship, prosperity. Maybe it's purely better sleep, less stress, all of those things. And again, I see this as natural, and success means different things to different people. Yeah. But the key message I want to get through to people is that your gateway to success is actually through stillness. It's not by being busier. It's not by being more cutthroat. That's what I used to think, chaos, all stuff going on around me. The fastest and easiest route to success is through stillness. And you're going to arrive to success feeling much happier, more at ease, and more fulfilled that way. And really, it's turning things on its head, my approach, I believe, because we're actually afraid of stillness. We're addicted to this busyness. And so, again, I've turned these things around, and I find this approach is just the best way. So people always ask me, what is meditation? And very simply, it's about training the mind. So in my view, it's all about this connection to stillness. So it's being aware of that stillness that's within us, and then being able to tune into it, to connect to that on a regular basis. And you can only do that by regular meditation practice. So when you learn to tune into that stillness, something really special occurs. It changes your perspective. it's about focusing on you, really working from the inside out instead of trying to change the entire world, the external. It's about focusing on you. So meditation really is understanding that stillness within you is always there. Meditation is about training your mind to access it regularly so that whatever's hitting you at that moment, you can have the tools to tap in and remain centered among the chaos. That's the idea. So my approach, I did this little diagram. I hope it makes some sense to you. Again, this idea of this perceived success, what's keeping us from it? It appears like, oh, there's many problems, these things that are stopping us, blocking us. But really, there's only one problem, and it's within us. It's a disconnection. And when I say this, disconnection, what I'm talking about is even within ourselves. So before I was a meditator, how disconnected I was with my own body, my sensations that were going on, the illness that was within me, and I was completely unaware of it. I was disconnected to my own body. Emotions, that's what we're going to be talking about today. That second level, this emotionally, we don't even know what we're storing within us. And in our mind as well, we're very disconnected. It's all cluttered up. What are we thinking? Our mind is carrying us away. Instead of us being in control of it, it's controlling us. When I talk about disconnection, I also mean barriers to others and the environment around us. Look what's going on around us. So it's a real disconnection. And I think that diagram kind of simplifies that. So the aim of meditation is really to bring us from a place of disconnection to connection. And when that happens, we bring our best self to everything that we do. That's the idea. So my approach, very simply, I'm not going to go through it in detail because it's very simple, 5 steps. And those 5 steps are based on 2 principles, the principle of releasing and realigning. So the first step, which we did last month if you joined us, was all about, I did 2 webinars based on the physical body and releasing. So this first principle of release, those are the first 3 steps, releasing at a physical level. Second step is releasing at an emotional level. That's what we'll be talking about today in more depth and experiencing in more depth, this ability to accept, to let go of things like guilt within us, to release those emotions that are actually blocking us. The third step is about releasing from the mind, so decluttering the mind so that we're more focused, more clear. The fourth step is simply about that alignment. This is where alignment comes into place, is connecting to that inner stillness so that we feel the essence of who we really are. The fifth step is about connecting to the love, the compassion that's within us, and then allowing that to radiate through externally. So today, we're focusing on step 2, which is releasing emotion that's held within us. And the good news is, honestly, you just need to practice these 5 steps. There's various techniques that I use at each step. So a number of techniques, but we only have time for one today. And that if you practice regularly those 5 steps, you're just going to find a deeper connection, a more expansive connection over time. And so we're going to talk about that step 2, and very specifically, we're going to talk about forgiveness. So let's talk a little bit about that. If you read the email I sent out this week, it had this quote. So holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I like that quote because it's very true. Holding on to our past is like holding poison within us. And so the purpose today is to talk about releasing emotion, how to do that, and so that we move again towards that connected state. Okay. So the second step of the 5 steps, this awareness of, first of all, and release of emotion. And I can tell you, when I first started meditating or working with emotions in meditation, I was amazed what I was holding on to. So guilt, I had no idea I was so guilty. Goodness me, where did that all come from? Doesn't even matter where it came from. The fact that I was just recognizing that I was holding on to it is the key. Anger, discontent, goodness me, I was discontent, didn't know it. Sadness, all of these things, recognizing that you have it within you, that it's held in your body, creating problems in everything that you do, relationships, work, etc. and how great it felt to release it. That also surprised me. It was very freeing. And I hope you can feel that too. At some level today, hopefully we can do that. And I realized, gosh, I'm hurting myself in the present just because someone hurt me in the past. How mad is that? That's crazy. So, this idea of freeing ourselves from the burden that we are carrying around. And it's again about discovering our capacity for love and then radiating that. So remember that anytime you're feeling guilty, bitter, blame, jealous, resentful, regretting things, anger, go back to forgiveness, forgiving yourself and others. When you feel stuck, that's the place to start. Okay, again, moving towards connection by releasing the pain. A couple points I want to make, and then we're going to go into the meditation. Well, we have one more slide and then the meditation. But a key point is that we're not condoning bad behavior. So what was done, what was said in the past, whether it's right or wrong, no matter. Yeah. And we're not dismissing your feelings either. We're not going into some big analysis here. But what we're trying to do is allow you to move on from suffering. So moving from a place of suffering to a place of peacefulness, where you release what's holding you back. And I do want to be clear, I don't want to sound harsh, but right now you're choosing to hold on to it. And when you choose to release, that's the point where you begin to heal. And again, a key thing that I was told, which I think is very important, you can forgive only as much as you can at this moment. So you can't force yourself to go all the way. This is a process. You are a work in progress. Okay. So whatever you can do today, start with that. And whatever comes up for you, it may not even make sense. Just work with whatever comes up. Trust that that's what your mission is for this moment. Okay. Okay. So a couple key points just about meditation in general before we get started on the actual meditation. Some key success factors, because I just have to mention these. I would be a bad teacher if I didn't. To be, well, I say successful in meditation, to get the results you're looking for, you have to commit. So, I mean, practice regularly, maybe 3-4 times a week is all I did the first number of years. That's enough at the beginning. But regular meditation, and make a commitment to do it. This intention is very important. And for time's sake, I'll just move on, but I'd love to talk about that more. Interactive guidance is another one. I have guided meditations, apps, all of these things. They're great tools, but it doesn't replace interaction. This idea of engaging, so you can ask questions, is really, really important, no matter what level you're at. I have a teacher, my teacher has a teacher. We sit with groups. It's important for your growth if you're serious about meditation. And why? Because I've actually done a bit of statistical analysis on this. I hate to say as a meditation teacher, but never mind. And it's just more likely that you're going to continue. Otherwise, you feel a bit isolated. With someone that's guiding you, you feel more growth, more depth to the meditation, and you have a support group. And of course, if you choose me as a teacher, that'd be great. But the key is to choose someone that feels right for you. If it's not me, if I'm just introducing it to you, great. I'm happy with that as well. Choose somebody that you trust and that resonates with you, but do get a teacher. That's what I would say. Okay, so on to the practical tips. Most important, comfortable position. So if you're new to this, just sit in a chair, feet flat on the floor, your back straight, so energy flows up and down the spine, but not stiff. Kind of shrug your shoulders at the beginning. Get comfortable here. And just sit with your feet flat on the floor. That's the key, okay? So that you're in a stable position. That's nothing fancy for today. The second bit is about alert mind. If you're new to meditation, we want the body to relax. Allow yourself to let go. We spent 2 webinars on that process. But you want to keep the mind attentive, alert. Here we're training the mind to be alert, attentive, aware. So if you feel like you're getting on the sleepy side, just try to be more interested. Come back, just recognize that you've kind of wandered off, that you're feeling a bit sleepy, and bring the mind to attention, okay? So the one last thing I want to talk about, for especially people at the beginning, but it's always a good reminder, no matter how advanced you are, is about how to deal with distraction, because it's going to happen. I wish someone would have told me this at the beginning. When I was in Nepal, there was a bit of a language barrier sometimes, and I wish they would have said, don't fight your own mind. It's completely normal that your mind will wander. You'll hear a sound, you'll get an itch, gosh, thoughts will come. The important thing is that you recognize, you're aware that the mind has gone off on you. Acknowledge it and then move back to the object of meditation, whether that's the breath, the visualization that I'm taking you through, whatever. Okay? Okay, good. So again, there'll be a question and answer period at the end. But for now, hopefully you can see, let me just go back, make sure that there's no questions in the webinar here. Me either. Can't see the diagram. Is everybody able to see now? It seems to me, because I'm seeing that some people had problems seeing. Can you just confirm that you can see the slide presentation? If someone can just type in the chat room, that'd be great. And then I'll get back to doing the actual guided meditation and making sure that, not me. Let me just see if I can make sure. Oh, okay, well, good to know. You can only see the first slide. Well, that's not very good. Let's just make sure that, let me just horse around with the technology for a second to make sure that you can see. Okay. So we're at the guided meditation. Can you see the present? Okay, so nobody's seeing it. Are you able to see it now? Now it's on. Good. Okay. So sorry about that. I'll have to check into what happened there. But the important thing is you can see this next slide. And I'll send you the slide presentation as well, just in case, okay? That way you can go through it. It's not as good as, but you know, I think you've heard me, so that's important. Cool. Good, everyone can see it. Okay, so all I want you to do is get into a comfortable position, and I'm going to ring a bell. At that sound of the bell, simply begin by closing your eyes. Again, for now, if you're sitting in a chair, simply have your feet flat on the floor, back straight, but comfortable, not stiff. And in just a moment, I will ring the bell. So start by taking 3 long, slow, deep breaths. Breathe all the way down into your abdomen. Really puff the abdomen out, feeling like you're breathing long, breathing very deep, and then just release the breath. Three times, long, slow, deep breathing. You're controlling the breath at this moment so that you ensure the breath is deep. And then after that third breath, just allow your body to breathe with its own accord. So no more controlling the breath. Instead, it's like you're standing back with your mind and simply watching the process of breathing. Alert, attentive mind, being interested in this process. Actually noticing how the body breathes, that awareness of these natural movements, these natural sensations that occur as you breathe. You may feel the wind of your breath as you breathe in and out around the area of the nose. You may feel sensations, tingling, heat, coolness, whatever that is. You don't have to try to make these things happen. Just allow them to occur and be aware of them with your mind. You may feel the chest or the abdomen rising and falling, the nostrils flaring, these movements that simply occur as your body breathes. So tune into your own body for a change. Pay attention. Feel your body breathing. And allow yourself to really relax into the sensation, being completely present with each breath. Remembering that if the mind wanders, this is natural. So don't be upset with this. Be happy that you've actually been aware enough in meditation to recognize that you've been distracted. Acknowledge the distraction, that itch, that thought, that sensation in the body, whatever it is, the noise, and bring your mind back to the object of meditation, right now, the breath. And really allow yourself to relax into the breath. Feel the muscles loosening up, especially on that out breath when you feel the breath being let go. It's like the breath is a gentle gust of wind moving through your body and releasing the tension. And on the out breath, the muscles just loosen. Any points of pressure or tightness simply melt away as the breath moves through you. Allow yourself simply to let go with each breath. Surrender to the breath. It's like your body is sinking into the chair. Your feet are getting heavy on the floor. If you're lying down, the body is simply releasing. Let the body go, keeping the mind alert, attentive, simply aware of each breath. Feel your body breathing. Feel that sense of relaxing and releasing simply by being present with each breath. And let's begin this process of forgiveness by forgiving ourselves. Asking yourself to forgive you for the ways that you've hurt or harmed yourself. This may be through neglect, dishonesty to yourself even perhaps. Maybe you have self-destructive habits that you've created. Allow an instance simply to come to mind where you feel that you have been hurtful to yourself, these patterns that possibly have. Maybe there's times that you've been criticizing yourself, or you get angry with yourself, or you feel guilty for things. Without getting entangled in that emotion, allow it to arise within you. Bring that image to mind. Be aware of the situation. Remember how you felt. Feel that now. And as that image flashes through your mind, as you feel that emotion, genuinely forgive yourself. As you watch that image pass by, simply repeat to yourself, I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. As that image arises, as you feel that emotion, allow yourself to simply forgive you. I forgive myself. So see that image vividly. Feel that emotion of forgiveness. Feel it coming towards you. Forgive yourself. I forgive myself. Feel that sense of letting all the hurt go. How you've harmed yourself. I forgive myself. And let's begin to ask for forgiveness to ourselves again for those times that we have hurt others. We all react to people or situations sometimes due to our own pain, our own suffering, from our own fears. We may have said unkind words or acted inappropriately. You may have done it knowingly or unknowingly, then that does not matter. Simply allow an instance to come into your mind, into your heart, where you know that you've hurt someone else, intentionally or not. Allow that situation to come into your mind. If you feel guilt, allow that feeling to come up. Open your heart to yourself and ask yourself to forgive. Just by repeating that statement, I forgive myself. Genuinely feel that as much as you can. I forgive myself. Say it in a caring, supportive way. Really feel the essence of those words. Feel the emotion behind it. Allow yourself simply to be forgiven. Allow yourself to feel that sense of being free from guilt. Living in this present moment, letting it go. Choose to let go. I forgive myself. And feel that emotion simply being washed away, cleansed with that forgiveness. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Simply repeat that as you see these images arise. Feel that guilt, that tension, any of that negative feeling simply to be wiped away. Feel your body being free from it. Allow yourself to let go. And now let's move on to forgiving others. Letting the wounds that you have, the sorrows that you've suffered from other people's actions or words, let that come into your awareness. Let an image arise where there's been a time where you feel that you've been hurt. Let that image come to mind very vividly as you can. And feel the emotion you felt then. But in a detached way, just allow the energy of that emotion to come up. Be aware of it. It doesn't matter really how it got there. Just be aware how that makes you feel right now as it did then. And at that moment, realize that at that moment, that person was also acting out of their own fears, their confusion, their pain. So feel in your heart where you hold resentments towards them. And touch those places within you with softness, with kindness, with forgiveness. Be willing to let go of the hurt. Know that holding on to the hurt only hurts you more. It holds you back. It closes you down. Allow yourself to let go, remembering that they were acting from a place of fear. So with that knowledge, let the resentment simply fall away. Feel it melting away. Especially as you breathe out, you feel yourself letting it go. simply being washed away with the out breath. Relax into that out breath. As you see this image, feel yourself letting go, for forgiving, simply forgiving, just to the extent you can. See them as vividly as you can in front of you. See their face, their eyes, feel their presence as much as you can. See their good parts as much as you can. Know they also have the capacity to love. So as genuinely as you can, say, I forgive you. Feel that slipping away, that emotion that you've been holding on to, the anger, the fear, the resentment. Feel it falling away from you, leaving your body. If you're struggling with this, as you breathe out, feel that sense of letting it all go. But that gentle gust of wind of the breath is simply cleansing. Every time you breathe, I forgive you. I forgive you. Feel that as much as you can, just as much as you can. In silence, allow that image to come up and feel that sense. Every time you say, I forgive you, I forgive you. Feel the forgiveness as genuinely as you can in your heart. And now simply take your mind back to the process of breathing, focusing on your abdominal region, your sacral chakra, and just feeling the breath move in and out. So take your mind down the abdomen and feel the breath moving in and out, and just be at peace with that. Each and every breath, feel it. Be present with it. Relax into the breath. And in a moment, I'm going to ring the bell 3 times. And you can rise from your meditation, but do so in your own time. Only open your eyes when you feel ready. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to questions that you can write in the chat room in a moment. But if you look at the screen, I'm pretty sure you can see the screen now. There's a couple key points there that I want to make. First one, just going over a summary of what we talked about today already. Don't want to blind you with lots of information. But your gateway to success is through stillness. Trust me on that one. And it's a 5-step process, very simple actually when you break it down. Although there are many different techniques, at least you've got one of those ones with the second step, which is release of emotion. The key things, again, committing to regular practice. You have to practice regularly. There's just no getting around it. If you want to be able to have that tool set available to you when you're in a stressful situation, when you come back to your center, you have to be practicing regularly so the mind knows how to do that. And signing up for interactive guidance. Those are the key things that I talked about today. So the next bit is a question and answer period. But I do want to make sure that people understand. I had questions about this last time about what the steps would be. And I'm not talking about the 5 steps here. I'm talking about getting a free guided meditation. You can download it at my website. And once you do that, you will get weekly tips. And so you know when the next webinar is and how to register for it, because those are absolutely free. I talk about signing up for regular practice. You can do it for free on the webinars every month. By all means, take advantage of that. If you want to come to classes, there's a couple web links here for you. There's a beginner's class the 2nd Wednesday of every month in London, an advanced class the very 1st Wednesday of every month. And there's a bunch of support tools to help you keep going on your own. But the key thing is to come to a class regularly. Okay? So now I'm going to open it up for questions. You can go in the chat room there and just write any questions that you have, whether it's about the meditation, the presentation, other things like this. Okay, so I haven't got any questions yet. Last time I had to cut it short, but so I'll just wait. I'll be patient. Let me ask you this. Did anyone find it more challenging than they thought? Or did someone come to mind, a situation come to mind that they were surprised with? Okay, Maurice, thank you. What benefits are there in holding on to feelings of hurt and anger? I would say there's no benefit, to be quite frank. My teacher, one of my teachers, Alan Wallace, works with a lady, I can't remember her name at the moment, to be honest, but she does a lot of like psychological work. And I can't remember which university, not Harvard, but something like that. I don't remember, maybe Berkeley, in the United States. And they've done a lot of research on this, about stress. And again, this idea of expressing feelings or holding on to them, or being aware of them but letting them go freely. So again, through meditation. And they found holding on to the feeling like actually does physical harm to your body. So when we talk about this release, again, I felt this at a deep level where I was holding on to guilt. Actually within my body, it was causing pain. So the release of these emotions is incredible for every aspect of us, from mind, emotion, body. It's all connected, of course. So far as I can tell, no benefit to holding on. Yeah? Okay. Oh, we got a couple more. Let me see here. With the forgiveness meditation, I felt some resistance. Oh, yes. Joe, thank you for that. Very, very not unusual. Let's put it that way. There is going to be resistance. We have held on to it for such a long period of time. It's just natural for us to do that. When I talked about these barriers, they are in place. And the idea, that's why I was saying about do as much as you can. Don't try to force it away. It's a work in progress. So it won't, sometimes some major release can come. But often it's just a process. Continue to practice this meditation. There's other meditations that being aware of the emotion, where it feels in the body, these types of almost, well, some of it's mindfulness, awareness of, and also ways to release with visualization, breath work, etc. is just takes a bit of practice. That resistance is normal, okay? So see yourself as a work in progress. See this as one time, and you've managed to start that healing process. That's the key. So hopefully that helps. Maurice, I think I'm unable to forgive someone because perhaps on some subconscious level I benefit from it. I see what you mean now. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I don't know if you're familiar with Louise Hay. She has done a lot of work with this. She uses mostly affirmations, but she is a advocate of meditation. Well, she uses meditation as well. But she talks about that it's giving us something on an emotional level. Yeah, nothing positive, but it's like a crutch that we're holding on to, and we think you're not unable to forgive. Right now, you're just not willing to let go completely. And what I would say is that it's a progression. So if until you're completely ready to let go, continue to practice. Well, this is, again, I say one technique. There are some that are very, very subtle, like breath work in the sacral chakra as a perfect example. Visualizations, there's a number of things that you can do, awareness of emotion, being very aware of where it's being held in the body, etc. And simply working through that process, not expecting it to happen overnight. I say it's like the gym, you don't go one day and go, oh, big muscles the next. Yeah, it's going to take a bit of time, patience, persistence, but trust me, completely doable. So hopefully that helps, Maurice. Now I know what you were getting at in that first one. Yeah, perfect. I'm glad you rewrote that question or clarified it for me. So hope that helps. Anybody else? Open to lots of questions. We have a few more minutes as well. And again, if you feel like you want to go deeper, I forgot to put me on. Goodness me. But there is the website links there. Hi. So by all means, you can join a class. You can keep coming to the webinars, whatever it is that you feel is. Oh, I'm glad that helped. Good. Thanks, Maurice. Whatever you feel is best for you. But by all means, ask me more questions here afterwards. Replay the webinar. I do recommend that as well. You'd be surprised each time you do a meditation, you get something different from it. Different experiences will come up. You'll feel different things in the body. Sometimes you might even feel uneasy, and that's okay too. Even people are expecting complete bliss. I would say most of the time it's like that. You feel after a meditation, wow, that felt great. But sometimes you will feel what Joe talked about, resistance, and it'll make you feel a bit uncomfortable. But trust me, it's getting the gunk out. It's there anyway. All of this stuff is there affecting our relationships, our work, our health. So the more we allow it to come out, the better it is for us at all levels. Okay. So unless somebody else has another question, we have some more time. If you'd like to ask, by all means, please do. And I'll go back to my website, go to download the free meditation. Actually, after this class, I will be sending you a link to replay this particular webinar and some information. I think the free guided meditation, I should probably just give you a link to it. And that's about it. There'll be some things coming to your email. Okay, good. I think we can close there because I'm not getting any more questions for today. But thank you for joining me. It's been a real pleasure. As always, I love to teach. So good to hear from you guys, chat to you. And hopefully we'll see you in some other way at class, the next webinar, something like this. Keep in touch. Thanks very much. Bye.